Happy New Year's from Canada. So this is Divinity Virtue. My name's Dustin Taylor. 2024. It was quite a night. You wear a pink shirt, shiny tie, fur, dress up, you smell good. You open up your heart and you just say, "Hey, whoever comes through me, make sure it's out of love and decency and care." And this was probably like the best way to end off one of the worst years of my entire life. And when I say like I knew that this was going to happen. And everyone goes, well, if you knew it was going to happen, why did you change your life trajectory? I didn't know it was going to happen at this time. It is what it is. But tonight, it's interesting because, like, when I say a lot of people know me, when I went out tonight, every different group, there was somebody from the group who knows me. And then I'd be talking to someone else, and they come up and they're like, you know him? You know him? And I asked a few people, and actually, some of them actually were telling me to go, you're that nice guy. And I was like, oh no, the nice guy. Nice guy's finished last. They go, no, like, it's like every other guy tries to act nice and then they put the moves on us. They're like, you don't put the moves on anyone. And I'm going, yeah, well, I've done my thing. I don't need to play games with any woman or anything like that. I'm just out to have a good time, talk to people, just see how people's lives are. Seems like everyone had a really good Christmas, except for me. It is what it is. But yeah, it was just a very good night. You know, I don't really know where I was even going to go with this video. I don't even think I have much to say. Um, Honestly, I just think that 2023 was rough. Like when you have a spiritual awakening, and I can't explain what a spiritual awakening is to people without sounding crazy, but it's like everything you do is supposed to happen, and like so just 2 days ago, I was supposed to have a meeting with some of the Mormon missionaries. I talk to them every week just to keep faith, I guess. I don't know. I don't really go to church, so I just believe in that there's a higher power of energy or whatever. And just that day, it was like I went to the gym. I did an extra 15 minutes, even took breaks. Was walking home, and this guy, no teeth, tattoos all over his face. You could kind of tell he was probably just a questionable character. And he starts talking to me. He goes, "Oh, something told me I had to come this way and talk to you." And I go, "All right, let's have a conversation." It's not often you talk to somebody who's toothless with tattoos all over their face, but I do. So that was a good, interesting conversation. Did our thing. I guess I swear too much, so maybe that was the life lesson. I gotta quit swearing. Probably for the better. Probably a healthy habit to not swear. So maybe he was right. And then I see my friend outside of his work, and we start talking. I'm thinking, wow, I never see you outside of your work. Then I go to the store and start talking there. And then just walking out, the lights turned so to cross the road and the cross road. So it just lines up so that I didn't have to wait at the lights or else I'd just keep walking. As I was walking across the street closer to my house, I was about a block away where I would have taken a left. And the block before, I was like, I should take a left right at the very last minute. So I took a left. And the reason why I say this is kind of a weird story is because I believe that your spirit will tell you where to go. And the reason I said this is because I was supposed to meet the Mormons at a certain time, but they actually got sick. Well, the one girl just didn't want to get anyone in my house sick, so they were just going to go to a few other houses, but they had sent me a message on my phone. And then as I took a left, I see them walking up the street, and I'm going, wow, aren't we supposed to meet in like an hour? They're like, oh, we wanted to cancel that. We're sick right now. And I was like, well, that's weird because everything in my day literally just lined up for us to meet, even though you guys had canceled. Like we were just supposed to talk, I guess. And that's what I think is that at the end of the day, I don't know. It was, it's just like my life happens just to happen. And this year, it was fun. Ugh, this was the worst year of my entire life. So for the first 8 months of the year, I was taking my CFA, 4,000 pages, formulas, yada, yada, yada. It was literally 12 hours a day. And then I had watched one of the CFA seminars, and the guy was talking how he spent like 16 years or 10 years, 16 hours a day sometimes doing projects. And I was like, yeah, I want to chase the money. It's obviously not going to happen. So I tried to hit the home run. I failed. I didn't make a high enough mark on the bell curve. Okay, but I did pass the exam. So cool. And then I could tell you, like, when you go through a spiritual awakening, you have like a shadow of the soul, like the dark shadow of the soul. And it's like you have to look at everything in your life that has ever happened to you, and you replay the incidences over, you replay the emotions, and then you have to accept the outcome and then to let it go. It's a way of like rebuilding who you are. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't tell anyone that I was going through a spiritual awakening. A few people figured it out. Like, it is what it is. Like, and I think the people who figured it out understand because they're probably going through the same things. And yeah, like, you see a lot of masks. And when everyone goes like, "Oh, well, you put on a mask," and I go, "That's not true," because when I go to work, suit and tie, right? Like, this is just a fancier version, just out. So I'm not putting on a mask. Like, I like wearing fur. I like wearing silk. I like shiny stuff. I really do. So it was just I don't know. There was a lot of interesting like situations this year. You know, the fact that I had to hitchhike home, and it was my neighbor who had helped me 10 years before when I was drinking, partying, sleeping around, just up to nothing good. He would give me money or he'd help me work. And then it was the same timing that his life was coming down, my life was coming down, and he helped me out again. And I know that I'm on this cycle. And it's funny because, like, this cycle now, I went through the karmic pain of the twin flame. I knew about that. That door has to have, it's got to close. Like, I don't know when the actual timing is. Because right now, she's got to be going through karmic hell. I know I've gone through karmic hell, which means that she's going through karmic hell. But I also do know that I close that door, it's done. And then I'm supposed to marry my best friend. And when I went to Australia the first time, I had just broken up with my girlfriend of 8.5 years. And then I was supposed to fall in love with a soulmate in Australia. And when I met her and everything, she was just coming off of a heartbreak as well. And I think what the universe does is it says, all right, when you're on a journey, I'm going to give you a major arcana in your life. And you're going to choose your outcome, and that's going to choose the path of your life. And the reason I know that my paths are starting to come around full swing is because the one girl, she went back to her house during Christmas and she still has a thing for her ex. And I get it because they went through a lot of stuff. And I'm just finishing my heartbreak, year of depression, spiritual awakening, twin flame, generational change. Like, I'm leaving my family for good. Like, I know that the countdown starts happening now. And there's nothing I can say or do. I could stay here and be running that same circle for the rest of my life. That's a safety, comfort circle. But I built this company, I built it from the bottom. I put in thought, detail, everything like that. I know I'm going to pay for an offshore license. The reason I'm going to do this is it now allows me to get nomad visas all around the world. So there's about 45 countries that if you pay for their visa fee or you make their requirements, you can go live there, stuff like that. And I'm watching right now that this girl, she went through a lot of shit with her ex-boyfriend. And the timing, no one's talked to me this whole year but her. And I'm thinking, I'm supposed to marry my best friend. So I went out tonight and I don't know. If you were to check social media, you're going to see me at least 15 pictures, at least. And multiple women, guys, you name it. Like I'm in every picture. And it's funny because I friend zone every woman. And that's why every woman comes up to me and goes, like, you don't hit on us. And I go, no, because like I'm actually looking for my end goal. Like I want a wife. This is it. I want a wife. I want a family. I want to get out of Canada, take my nomad visas, get international healthcare, don't pay taxes, live on a beach, and just enjoy life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the energy, it's crazy, but like when you finally get to a level of just like calmness and peace, I almost want to chase that a little bit more sometimes. Don't get me wrong, tonight I had my fixture of conversations. Like that's the high for me. So I was chasing the energy high. And I guess I could be called a energy pirate or something like that. But I'm going to go into hibernation now, and it's like you won't see me for a week or two. People will go, "Where are you? Where do you go? Like, what's up with you?" And it's nothing like that. It's just that I opened up my heart tonight, and I said, "Only people who seriously can come through me have to show me love." And when you open up your heart and you play an energy game, you see a lot of people who love you, and it's the way they'll look at you in the eyes. And it's like for me, I can get people when their energy is right. I can watch their pupils, and it's like a drug because I can see when the pupils are big. I know that we're playing on like a almost like an emotional serotonin. It's a high of people when you. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of jazz. It is what it is. Hey, I didn't swear. There we go. But you know what? It was a good night because, like I said, there's a lot of people that will just come up to me and just talk and tell me their life stories. And this one girl, she goes, when I met you, she goes, I just had to tell you my whole life story. She goes, I didn't tell anyone this stuff. She goes, I just something tells me I had to talk to you. And I go, yeah. And it's like she has a lot of faith in me, so I don't need to say what she did or what's happened to her, but you know, she just goes, I feel comfortable with you, and that's really nice because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable with me. I don't like causing those problems. I rather everyone just kind of be happy and kosher. And it was also interesting because I kind of got set up during the summer by some people who wanted to, I don't know, try to ruin my reputation or be bigger than me. It is what it is. And I run through a lot of different people. And I see one guy tonight, and I knew he was going to be out tonight. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to finally see him. Like, certain people you're just like, oh, I'm going to see him tonight. It's just going to be nice. Just energy's calm. And I asked him, I said, do you trust these people? And he goes, I got a weird feeling about them. I said, yeah, they tried to set me up during the summer. I said, just honestly, be careful. I'm like, their hands are in everything. And, it's okay. Like, yeah, everyone's got to do their side hustles. But, man, some of the people, karma's a thing. Like, do your side hustle, but don't try to hurt people. That's the That's the game. You can level up in both spiritual sides, whether it's good or bad. Like you choose your life in this game. That's how it goes. And it's like when I tell people that my life is already planned out, I know that I'm going to marry my best friend. I'm going to fall in love with my best friend. I'm going to tell you the girl that's coming out right now, she's a ride or die. She's looking for marriage. She's looking for a family. And just the way that our conversations have gone back and forth, why is it that when I message 50 other people, I haven't had a reply back? You know why that is? It's not that they haven't read it. I can see when they read the messages. It's because something of like the energy says, nope, I'm not going to let you reply back. Even though you want to or you don't want to, you don't. And it's like when everything is meant to happen in your life, it just happens. So the fact that this one gal is messaging me back and forth, and it's not like she reads it and then waits a day, like she reads it and then messages. Why is it only her? Like, and that was the interesting part because it's meant to be that we are supposed to line up, and that's how the paths go. So you'll have a major arcana. You make that decision. It goes, okay, if I have this problem and I keep going forward, what's my life going to look like? And you'll go up that path. If you get rid of the problem, now you create a new problem, right? So it's like whatever is given to you, you have the choice to accept it or reject it. If you reject it, then you're giving the energy back into there saying, hey, I appreciate this, but I don't think this is right for me. Can we try something different? It'll send you back something different. And that's how I know my circle's coming around because I got out of a long term love because I wasn't ready to have kids or a family. She was. Different timing. So I said, hey, let's go travel for a year. She goes, no. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to go travel for a year. If we end up together, great. If not, it just wasn't meant to be. She ended up finding a guy within like 2 or 3 months. She was probably dating him at the end of our relationship, if we have to be honest. But I kept kosher. I didn't fool around, didn't do anything. I waited until everything was done. But I'm saying, like, when I went to Australia, I was supposed to meet that girl, and that would have been the end if I would have done it right. And I screwed it up, which means that now the people in my life were all coming out of major arcanas, and the universe is aligning us, saying, "Choose your next path." It's a level up game. Anyways, it was a great New Year's. Somebody spilled a drink on my fur jacket. Not too happy about that, but I assume it was out of love. That's the only reason I'm happy. Honestly, it's just really nice because before Christmas and this night, it just seems that everyone, whether they have problems or not, it just seems it's the 2 nights of the year that you can honestly just get people to just lower their guards and show love and just not worry. It seems like I could be wrong, but that's just what I get the feeling of. I think everyone gets stressed out when they go have their family dinners and then they go hang out with their friends and whatnot. It's just a lot more of a, all right, we're good type thing, you know, like when you feel good with people and you have that energy. And that's what I try to do is I try to bring it so that when people come through me, they know that like the energy's safe. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I know I'm a spiritual healer. I know that's why people come and talk to me. It's a way for their souls to let out their pains, their emotions. It's an interesting way of life. But yeah, just gotta tell you, spiritual awakening, it's crazy. Dark shadows, you look at the world different. You see mass, you see your friends for who they are, you see your family for who they are. And it's sad because I don't know, certain points I've learned that people in my life have held me back, didn't want me to succeed, even if that was family. And I don't know if that's just the way that everyone's brought up. And I had another conversation with another girl tonight, or young lady tonight, and he was going like, "I'm in love," and I go, "Hey, that's a great feeling." She goes, "But what if I get my heart broken? Like I'll just lose my life." And I go, "You can't rely yourself on someone else," and that's what I had to learn is that I want to just love everyone, but at the end you have to love yourself, right? And I just said, "Well, what makes you think this way?" And she goes, "My family's broken up. They go through hard times, and I've only ever seen bad relationships." And I said, "So maybe that's a learning lesson, you know? Maybe you're supposed to watch what they did, do opposite, and just try to realize that when you're in a relationship, it's a give and take. It's be like 50-50, you know? In my world, like I said, if you're my ride or die and you want polka dots and yellow lines on the walls, fine. I don't need to fight for that. I don't. I'll choose my fights and battles. I didn't even fight the guy who poured a drink on me. It is what it is. Anyways, I finally dropped off the website today. I don't know how many people actually were going to look at it. I don't know how many people will watch these videos. I really hope that just in the right divine timing, you know, everything happens right on the right time. I hope that 2024, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna get rid of this debt, get rid of the last bit of chub. You know, I've changed my eating. I didn't have any fast food this year. Haven't had sugar this year. 2 years sober. 2 years from my addictions and sins. Blah 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 blah. Man, it's crazy. And even tonight, everyone's like, "Oh, I'll buy you a drink." I'm like, "I live a sober life," and they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they go, "But you come to the bar?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like to just talk to people and dress up. I got a shopping addiction. You know, it is what it is." And yeah, it was good times. Anyways, happy New Year's to everyone in the world. And 2024 is the year of eight. 2, 2, 4. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. Infinity, which means if you've gotten rid of all your karma and you've treated people right and you actually have a goal set in your mind for this next year, it only happens once every 25 years, I think. I could be wrong on that number, but it's a big arcana. It means that every life change that should happen will happen if you put your mind to it. And that's another thing is when you think about it, money is energy. The world is energy. Everything is energy, right? So when you want to open up a company or follow your passions, this is what you're supposed to do. The more energy it takes for you to build that product, it's like you're becoming a shareholder of that product. So if energy is money and you're putting all this energy into a product, think of how much shareholder capital keeps going up the more time you spend on it. And the reason I want you to think it this way is I saw a thing on Facebook that showed all these inventors like Thomas Edison and Tesla and stuff like that. When you watch them and you see how many years it took them to like master the light bulb or electricity or whatever, it was countless years. Then once they hit it, think of how much money they brought in. So that is the game. That is the spiritual game. That the pot doesn't get bigger ever. So you have to use your own energy. And I want you to think this also through. Think of how much energy it takes just to have a bowl of fruit and vegetables. Months. That's months of energy just for your one day. So if you take that one day of energy at its purest form and put it into an idea, you're circling the energy. You're showing the world that you're thankful for the energy that you've been given You're using the energy for something to produce something, and it's a circle. And once it just keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. That's the game. That people don't understand this. That's why people get rich. It's like they're putting shareholders' equity because they're putting sweat in time and energy and time, right? Everything has to line up in the timing. So I know I'm crazy. I get it. Ooh, side note, I must have done a really good job at Visions, even though I got fired for not being friends with people. Because a lot of people who I've sold products to have actually seen me outside and go, Dustin, how have you been? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I was like, you remember me? And they're like, yeah, you are a great salesperson. I go, what do you mean? They're like, you actually tried to help us. You didn't rush us through anything. You made sure you gave us the right answers, the right details. And I go, well, I hope so because like trying to learn the products I know how the sales games work. Like force someone into a sale, they're not going to be happy about it, and they might have like buyer's remorse. If you make the decision that you want to buy it, and I just try to make sure I give you the best product, the best service, then we're both happy, right? So I saw some people tonight, and they just kept looking me in the eyes, and they're like, "You're just such a nice guy. You're just." I act. He goes, "I just came back to Visions just to see you, and they said that you were gone." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, they fired me because I wasn't making friends." But a lot of people apparently like me, but I can't make friends at work. Whatever. Anyways, let's start off this new year right. You gotta take your losses before you become the boss. Try to be 1% better every day. Let's help everyone get ahead. Let's work together. Be the best versions we can be. Be thankful for what life has given us. Divine timing, divinity virtue. I'm very close to getting everything ready. So I hope that these videos help with just people and realizing that people do care. You just gotta find the right vibrations. That's all it comes down to. I'm not saying I'm always gonna have the right vibrations. It takes a lot for me to turn on and turn off. But I really appreciate when people feel safe and comfortable around me because I haven't ever grown up with a lot of friends. I was picked on, beat up, bullied. Just never a good upbringing. It was just whatever. I went home and always cried or always had bad thoughts. So it's really nice that people actually just feel comfortable and safe. So that being said, thank you very much. I hope everyone likes this outfit. I dressed myself. Anyways, Divinity Virtue. My name's Dustin Taylor. Let's have a great 2024 and God bless. Amen. And just enjoy life. It's a wonderful journey.